That is how many humans watched the last FIFA World Cup. Not 1 billion, not 5. That is more than half of every person alive on this planet, gathered around screens in 200 countries, all watching the same sport at the same time. And 2026 is going to shatter that record in ways that have never been possible before. In the next 3 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why, and I don't mean just it'll be popular. I mean structurally, mathematically, historically, why this tournament is built to be the single most watched event in the history of human civilization. There are 4 reasons, and every single one of them is new. To understand why 2026 is different, you first need to understand just how absurd the World Cup's viewership already is. The Super Bowl, the biggest event in American sports, draws around 100 to 120 million viewers. The World Cup final draws 1.5 billion for a single match. The entire tournament across all its games, 5 billion cumulative viewers last time around. Nothing else on earth comes close. Not the Olympics, not the Super Bowl, not anything. And 2026 is going to go further still. Reason 1, 48 teams instead of 32. For the first time ever, the World Cup is expanding. 16 more nations. 16 more fan bases that have never had a horse in this race, now watching every single game with everything on the line. More countries in means more of the world watching. Reason 2, 3 host countries. The United States, Canada, and Mexico are co-hosts combined. That is a market of 500 million people, most of whom have historically watched football casually, if at all. When your home country is in the tournament and the games are down the road, casual becomes obsessive. 3 home nations means 3 countries flipping from interested to fanatic overnight. Reason 3, the time zone advantage. This is the one nobody talks about. When the World Cup is hosted in Qatar or Russia, Americans are watching at 6 a.m. or midnight. Games in prime time for half the world mean the other half misses them live. In 2026, for the first time in decades, the biggest matches will kick off in the afternoon and evening across US, European, and Latin American time zones simultaneously. The whole world awake and watching at the same time. Reason 4, streaming has changed everything. In 2022, millions of potential viewers couldn't access the tournament easily. By 2026, every major streaming platform on Earth will carry it. You won't need a cable subscription, a sports package, or a specific TV provider. You'll need a phone and a Wi-Fi connection. That's it. The barrier to watching this tournament has never been lower in history. More teams, 3 host nations, perfect time zones, universal streaming access. Stack all 4 of those things together, and you don't just get the most watched sporting event ever. You get something that's never existed before in the history of television. Historians talk about shared human moments events so large that the whole world stops and pays attention at the same time. The moon landing, a royal coronation, the fall of the Berlin Wall. The World Cup final in July 2026 will be one of those moments. Billions of people, 1 game, 1 winner, all of us watching together. That doesn't happen very often, and it has never happened at this scale. If you want to actually understand what you're watching when it happens, the tactics, the teams, the stories behind the goals, this channel is for you. Subscribe, and I'll make sure you're ready.